Good evening and welcome to IT Sligo's Bachelor of Business and Marketing webinar. I am Suzanne Ryan, a lecturer of marketing at IT Sligo, and I will be your host this evening for this webinar. We would like to welcome the prospective students, parents, and career guidance teachers to this webinar this evening. We are delighted to speak to you about the new program, the Bachelor of Business and Marketing Honours Degree. We believe it's a dynamic program and we are so excited to tell you about it this evening. Firstly, there are a few housekeeping rules. This webinar should last about 40 minutes and we have set aside some additional time for questions and answers at the end of the webinar. The webinar is being recorded and this only relates to the panel members and not the attendees. The attendees are not visible throughout this webinar, so sit back, relax and enjoy. In relation to questions, you will see a Q&A section at the bottom of your toolbar. You can submit questions there and we will moderate the questions throughout the webinar and we will address those questions at the end of the webinar. The questions in the Q&A section are visible to all. Please do not include any personal information such as your email address or mobile numbers in that section. I am delighted to introduce the panel. Firstly, Dr. Michael Barrett, our Head of Faculty of Business and Social Sciences.
Hello.
John Kelleher, Head of Department of Marketing, Tourism and Sport.
Good evening all.
Gavin Hanley, Sales Manager at Google Sweden.
Hello, everybody.
Emma Gilroy Hamilton, Senior Director, Head of Customer Operations at AdRoll.
Hi, everyone.
Paul Conneally, Head of Global Communications at LiveTiles.
Hello, everybody.
Dr. Catherine McGuinn, Marketing Lecturer.
Hi, everyone.
Lisa Dunn, Business and Marketing Lecturer.
Hi, everyone.
Anya Doherty, Marketing Lecturer.
Hi, everyone.
And Emma Donaghy, Marketing Year 4 student at IT Sligo.
Hello, how are you?
And Philip Hamilton, Marketing Year 3 student at IT Sligo.
Hey, everything's.
So I would like to pass you over now to Dr. Michael Barrett, Head of Faculty.
Thank you very much, Suzanne, and thanks very much to the team who developed this program over the last year or so, and John, who headed up this development as head of department. Delighted to have a great panel for you this evening, and this program is really timely. Anyone who's been following IT Sligo on social media or indeed the newspapers will note that we've ambitions to become a university. That will happen hopefully within the next 12 months, and the graduates of this program will be graduates of our new university. Without further ado, I'd just like to pass John to John Kelleher. John is the head of department for his opening remarks.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I'm too very delighted to welcome you all here this evening to the webinar. IT Sligo has a tradition of marketing education dating back to the early 90s. That's backed up by programs ranging from level 7 through to a master's in marketing program, as well as bespoke programs that we deliver specifically for industry need. It's a proud pedigree. It's earned through constant reinvention and imagination. As they say, the only constant is change, and modern marketing is highly sophisticated. New digital tools and social media platforms mean we have the ability to reach audiences in ways that were previously unheard of. Equipping students with the ability to navigate that space is the job of these programs. So I hope you make the most of tonight to test your own interest in this area. And to help with that, we have this wonderful panel of experts from industry, including our own alumnus, as well as some staff and students. So please do put your questions you have. Follow up with us afterwards if you like. And thank you to all of you. And I'll hand you now back to Suzanne.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Michael. So I am going to give a short overview of the Bachelor of Business Honours and Marketing program, both the level 8, which is SG150, and the level 7, which is SG139. Bachelor of Business and Marketing program provides high quality education in theory and practice in business and marketing. The degree will allow you to develop the business and marketing knowledge, skills, and key competencies required to operate at a professional level within the business and marketing and/or related industries in an ultra-competitive business environment within small, medium enterprises, large multinationals and global organizations, as well as charities and NGOs. The degree empowers the learner to achieve a detailed knowledge and understanding of both fields of business and marketing. The applied research projects and work placements are an integral part of the degree program, both emphasizing the importance of specialist knowledge in business and marketing practice. The program allows for you to study or further develop a language such as French, Spanish, or German. There is the opportunity to take an Erasmus year in either France, Spain, or Germany to further develop your cultural and language fluency in year 3. The Bachelor of Business and Marketing has been mapped to the Marketeer Pathways framework of the Marketing Institute, the professional body of marketeers in Ireland. The framework has been created to help marketing professionals and their employers to understand and together assess the capabilities required for both current and desired roles in the future of marketing. The framework is divided into 3 key streams of business, marketing, and people. The competencies have been developed throughout the program so that graduates have the competencies of a professional marketeer in the broader business arena that is recognized by the Marketing Institute. So after completion of the program, graduates are encouraged to take the Qualified Marketeer exam at Marketing Institute, as they have exemptions from the degree to take the exam to become a graduate member of the Marketing Institute. Students also have the opportunity to obtain Google AdWords accreditation as part of the program. The program develops marketing and business skills needed to hold positions of responsibility in both marketing and management in organizations. Marketing skills we know are essential in the business world. Marketing is fundamental for any person or business that wants to be known. The art of communicating with people is the secret to success for the majority of brands and businesses in this world. Marketing is an extremely broad subject. It combines creativity and analytical skills to understand exactly what makes a customer tick and how to reach those customers. The program allows for innovation in the face of challenges posed by globalization, sustainability, and the technological evolution. This degree also strengthens the personal skills necessary for leading teams and projects in the complex business environment. It also develops graduates that make both a positive contribution to any business and marketing of an organization. The program will maximize business and marketing engagement for the learner and optimize career development for the graduate, both personally and professionally, that develops a work-ready graduate that can apply a range of business and marketing skills and knowledge in local, regional, national, and the international business arena. Graduates are provided with business and marketing knowledge to pursue postgraduate study here at IT Sligo or at other educational institutes. The program has also been designed in compliance with the Teaching Council curricular teaching subject requirements for business. So secondary school teaching of business is also an option for graduates who complete a professional Master of Education, a PME. So in terms of career opportunities, it is a versatile degree that will prepare you for a wide range of careers in small, medium enterprises, large multinationals, global organizations, and charities and NGOs in a local, regional, national, and global arena. So we can see on this slide from being a digital marketing manager or a marketing manager, a sales manager, an e-commerce marketeer, a content creator, a social media manager, or an events marketeer, an email marketeer, or a blogger or influencer marketeer, marketing data analyst careers, or online ad manager, or an online PR manager, a sales account manager, business development manager, marketing executives, and also sales executives. So you can see career opportunities here. It's an endless list. This is an exciting opportunity It allows students to embrace a myriad of teaching methods from the traditional lecture and tutorial to work placement, Erasmus, and applied business projects throughout the degree. It fits in with our ambition for university status, and most importantly, it allows the graduate to leave the institute with employable and enriching skills. I'd like to thank you for listening to this short presentation on the program overview. And if you have any questions on anything I have mentioned or any further information you would like, you can actually add this question now to the Q&A section in your toolbar. Or if you'd like to email me, my email is ryan.suzanne@itsligo.ie. So even after this event, you can contact me. And for more information, we can see on this slide at itsligo.ie, we can see SG150, or we can see for the level 8 and itsligo.ie SG139 for the level 7. So now I would like to pass you over to Gavin Hanley from Google.
Hi, Suzanne, and good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me join. Suzanne, do you want me to give a bit of background first?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. So my name is Gav. Currently sales manager at Google here in Dublin in Ireland. Have been part of Google for the last 11 years. But many moons ago, I was starting off after school, after secondary school, I started in marketing, a degree in marketing, and I also had a focus with French. So I studied at Dublin Institute of Technology, where I did the degree in marketing, and I spent the second year on Erasmus in France. And shortly afterwards, I went on for a Master's in International Business. I joined IDA Ireland, which focuses on foreign direct investment into the country of Ireland from a lot of multinationals from the United States. After that, I traveled a bit and worked in marketing, kind of first experience with online marketing in Australia. And then I landed back in Ireland in the depths of the recession in 2009, which was a very, very tough year when it comes to job opportunities. But I held firm and was lucky to start with Google in January of 2010. So that's a quick snapshot of where I've come from. Would definitely say, just in terms of marketing, it was something that was always very curious for me in terms of the connection between a brand and its consumer.
Gavin, what key transferable skills should graduates have to get a career in a company like Google?
In terms of transferable skills, I think first and foremost, I think it starts in the world of marketing. For me, it starts with communication. I'd also say there's an awful lot of an emphasis on the having a real innate curiosity of how to solve problems. So with marketing, you've got this really fascinating position where you're between a consumer or the user of a product, and you're seeing the business aspect of how you bring that to market. So you have to have a natural curiosity of how you bring the two together and how you communicate that. And as you said before, like, marketing can be very wide, but it can be quite narrow as well. Yeah, so I'd say definitely communication, curiosity for problem solving. It's become heavy on the analytical and very logical thought process. So yeah, I'd say they're the main ones. And to be honest, in my own experience, it's the ability to adapt. Marketing has changed substantially since I studied it, and you just have to get used to that.
So you're constantly future-proofing, really, aren't you?
Constantly future-proofing. You know, the general remit of marketing has stayed the same, but how we get it done has just absolutely transformed in the last number of years, and we'll continue to do it. So you kind of have to get comfortable with that. Are
marketing graduates valuable to Google? You know, is there career opportunities down the track? You know, how do they contribute to a company like Google, in your opinion?
Yeah, massively. Like, I mean, our business is very much on the foundation of helping businesses find their customers online. And the best way to do that is that if you understand both sides. So having a solid background in understanding consumer behavior, also understanding how you bring a product or a brand to market is critical. And then being able to help navigate a brand to online and find customers online. Yeah, there's high demand there, and to be honest, it's going through a massive transformation at the moment with regards to what we call digital transformation. Yeah.
Okay. My last question then would be, what advice would you have to students that would be taking on marketing now? You know, we've a lot of prospective students attending this webinar and they're interested, or maybe they're gung-ho to do marketing. Any advice that you would give them about taking on a degree in marketing?
I think if you have that curiosity about how yeah, I think the consumer behavior part is fascinating. I think if you've got that curiosity about it, and if you also have, like I see with marketing, there's an awful lot with regards to, when I started, you want to make sure that there's obviously career opportunities, which there is high demand. I wanted to make sure that I could travel with, you know, my degree, and it would open opportunities outside of Ireland, and it has. I would definitely really emphasize the importance of the people you meet and that you study with. I thought Erasmus was a hugely important part of the way I thought about marketing and the way I thought about work in general and career opportunities. And the other thing I'd say is that look, things are changing so much, not to get too focused or obsessed about like online marketing. There's so much more beyond just online marketing. That's just a way that we do marketing. But the fundamentals and the theory and the practice behind it is still relatively the same. So not to be overwhelmed by online.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Gavin. We will now move on to Emma Gilroy Hamilton, the Senior Director and Head of Customer Operations at AdRoll. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Suzanne. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. I guess I can just give a little bit of an introduction as well.
Please do.
Thanks, Gavin, for that. From my perspective, yeah, I'm a Sligo native, and I'm a graduate of IT Sligo. I attended the years 2010 to 2014, and from there, I then, I suppose, spent the majority of my career within different businesses across marketing, both traditional and online, both local to Sligo in Dublin, and then spent a couple of years in New York, and have returned back to Dublin. And so, yeah, marketing has definitely been a space that has been a big interest of mine. And I guess, to give a little bit more background as to maybe why I got into it and you know, what interests me. I grew up within a family business, and so I always knew, I suppose, you know, I wanted some type of job that was in that space, but really didn't have a clear view into what my ideal role would be or what that occupation would look like. And to be totally frank, I'm still trying to figure that out in my 30s. I think it's always ever evolving. But I guess for me, the course had a really broad scope, and it was something that I was very interested in. I think I was filling my CAO form in 2006, which was like, you know, peak boom times across the economy. So I was excited about all the many job opportunities that were going to be available to me. And then I graduated in 2010, which was peak recession. And so the outlook looked a little bit different. And what was so interesting to me, I think, was throughout that time, you know, the lecturers really were able to evolve the course content to adapt to what was happening into the economy at that time, which is kind of interesting when we think about where we are right now. And so, yeah, it was always something that just really fascinated me. And I think when I first started studying marketing, it was Web 2.0, and it's certainly evolved a lot since then.
Hey, Emma, what skills did you learn at IT Sligo that allowed you to excel in your career?
Yeah, great question. Definitely learned a ton of, I suppose, theory that I was able to apply in a practical setting. And I think one probably great example of that is, you know, when I left IT Sligo, I was able to secure a job in radio with local radio station IT, or Ocean FM rather. And I joined as a marketing coordinator, which ultimately turned into a load of different roles, which you know, empowered me to get into digital marketing specifically. But I'll always reflect on my interview. And walking in that door with not a ton of experience on my back, but what I did go in was like it was an A2 size portfolio, which was literally jam-packed full of case studies and projects that I had the opportunity to work on during my time in IT Sligo. And I would probably, you know, thank, you know, some of the lecturers that I had at the time that really challenged me. Myself and a dear friend, I remember in our final year, we set up a marketing company called We Do Marketing, which, you know, yeah, we did our best with the branding, but it was brilliant. We had a great opportunity to work on, you know, real life customers and real life business cases, and help them develop their marketing strategies, whatever it might have been. And I think I'll be forever grateful for you know, being given that opportunity. So, you know, when I reflect on you know, what skills I learned, you know, I think it was that practical application, which definitely secured, I think, that first job, but definitely helped strengthen, I suppose, my you know, progression into other companies.
Great. And what advice would you give to someone that is thinking or interested in studying marketing, Emma?
Yeah, I guess, you know, Gavin definitely touched on this as well. Like, it really is such a fascinating subject. It's ever evolving. It's always changing. You know, when we think about where the traditional marketing side of things and how it lends itself, and it's really astonishing. You know, you see the list of occupations that, you know, the potential jobs that, you know, graduates could walk into. There really are so many opportunities, and I guess from my perspective, I'm definitely living and breathing that. I think I joined after radio. I moved into ad technology, now kind of marketing technology, and joined as an account manager. And so really on the sales side of things, but getting into the right company awarded me an opportunity to move into different functions. So was able to work in business operations, in vendor management. I had an opportunity to relocate to America, focus more on marketing analytics, customer success, customer care, then into management. And I guess what was really interesting about, you know, that entire journey was that I never actually worked in like a traditional marketing team as such, but yet I worked in a marketing company, or I was working with customers to help advance their marketing campaigns. And so I guess my advice is just keep an open mind. You know, marketing is so broad that it really does open a lot of doors when you least expect it. And so yeah, it's definitely a space very passionate about.
Great. Thank you very much, Emma. We will now move to Paul Conneally, Head of Global Communications at LiveTiles. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Suzanne, and hi, Emma, and hi, Gavin. So yeah, my name is Paul Conneally. I'm talking to you from Sligo, where LiveTiles has their European Centre for Operations. My own personal journey started with communications and marketing, and it's brought me all over the world. I've worked in Geneva and Moscow and Asia, South America, many different places, primarily for international organizations such as the UN and the International Red Cross. So I ended up heading up communications for both of those organizations. I moved with my family back to Sligo for lifestyle reasons about 6 years ago, and never dreamed I would encounter a company like LiveTiles here. Gavin mentioned the IDA earlier. So LiveTiles was brought to Sligo, essentially, or enticed to Sligo by the IDA and set up shop here. And I encountered them, and I really loved, really resonated with their values, which was all about being decent human beings, creating amazing experiences, and just getting stuff done. Met the people. They were looking for a marketing person for Ireland and the UK. And 2.5 years later, I'm now their global head of communication, and we'll be building up a communication team in the Sligo and Irish region. But with global functions. So it's been a very exciting journey, definitely, and really vibrant community here in the technology side. We have a group called Tech Northwest. And what's really incredible about it here, being based in Sligo, with all these different tech companies, such as Overstock, Frankly, and many others, SL Controls, it's extraordinarily generous and collaborative spirit. So what's good for one is good for everyone. So that's been really, really positive as well. You talked, Suzanne, about the transferable skills, and I've been thinking about that while I was listening to Emma and Gavin. And well, transferable skills to our company, LiveTiles. So we're right in the middle of things right now, because LiveTiles is a leader, the global leader in digital workplace technologies. So we enable people to work remotely, to work in a hybrid way, and really drive that collaboration in the workplace. So that's the sort of company we are. So we're definitely looking. The transferable skills will be all around digital. I mean, it's already been mentioned by the other panelists, but to be really digitally savvy, especially around search engine optimization, search engine marketing, inbound content strategy. You know, where you're really bringing people to your brand through exciting and engaging content. And having that multi-channel approach to social and digital to really engage audiences where they are. That's a really, really important part of our marketing skill set. The whole area of SaaS marketing, that's software as a service. In other words, a sort of click and subscribe, where people buy B2B software online and they subscribe. That's a really big and burgeoning area now, and certainly it'll be getting bigger in the future. So that's the success of that will really be dependent on skilled marketers. So marketing is a growing career. It'll become even more relevant as we become more digitally engaged and digitally active in terms of our commercial transactions, and understanding that customer buying journey and experience, because that's what will build the trust with your customers. So the other panelists have mentioned that the importance of communication, the importance of being curious, the importance of storytelling. These are definitely really, I would say, they're actually really skills that are in demand and lacking in many graduates, and I know that that's addressed a lot in this course. So that ability to really communicate the softer side of it is extraordinarily important, and will become even more so as companies really start to focus in on purpose as a real driver of success, and a much more human-focused marketing strategy and corporate strategy indeed. So they're the skills that we'll be looking for as we build up our team on the marketing side over the next couple of years. And
Paul, is it important for LiveTiles to have highly skilled graduates on their doorstep here in Sligo?
Absolutely. We like to build the teams around the different functions in the different time zones. As I mentioned, we're a global company, but we have a big software team here in Sligo. Working with many of the colleagues are graduates of IT Sligo. Our senior vice president is also from IT Sligo, a graduate from IT Sligo, and it's important to us to build that network locally as much as we can, and really develop that sort of community spirit and feed into the success of IT Sligo and vice versa. It was a big defining factor for our company to base itself in Sligo. I mean, the fact that there was a pipeline of talent in software developers was crucial to the decision. And now that there's an ever expanding remit of skill sets, particularly in the marketing and digital marketing side, that will make it ever more sustainable, I would say.
And finally, what is your experience of hiring IT Sligo graduates? And are there opportunities to work further in the region?
Yeah, it's been really positive. To the best of my knowledge, everybody we've hired is still working happily and contentedly with us. There is also the sort of cross-pollination and cross-fertilization of ideas with the other tech companies, many of whom also are hiring graduates from IT Sligo. On the marketing side, as we're just building up the team here now, we haven't hired any graduates as such. It's something we'll definitely be on the lookout for. We have had very positive experiences with marketing interns, some really great colleagues that came from IT Sligo working with us on different campaigns and events and conferences. So it's been truly positive. And I think it's important to mention, just apart from the business side, particularly these days, it's the social and community side. I mean, that's the work-life balance, which is a lot about what our company is anyway trying to enable through our tech, to free people up to be more creative and collaborative or be with their families or whatever. That whole ethos really sits very well here in Sligo with the lifestyle and with that sort of collaborative community that's building up here now, all around the Northwest actually. But so that's, it's been a hugely positive experience.
Thank you, Paul. Now we will move over to Emma Donaghy, who is an IT Sligo student that is studying marketing in year 4, and Philip Hamilton, who is an IT Sligo student studying marketing in year 3. So hi, Emma, and hi, Philip. First question I would ask both of you are, why did you decide to study marketing at IT Sligo?
So I decided to study marketing in IT Sligo because I loved business and Leaving Cert. I found it really interesting and it was really applied. But then I also loved art and I loved that creative flair as well. And I'm sure that Emma and Gavin and Paul would agree that it's really important to have a creative side if you want to go into marketing, as it really can set you apart from your competitors. So I thought that marketing would be an excellent choice for me. I also loved languages and traveling, and this course gave me the opportunity to continue to learn a language after Leaving Cert, and also the amazing opportunity to study abroad as well, which I'll delve into a little bit later after we hear from Philip.
Hi, so for me, I had previously done a 2 years of a computing course in the IT, and well, that course wasn't for me. I knew that the IT was for me, so I looked at what course would be able to use some of the technical skills that I had learned over those 2 years and some of the kind of the creative skills that I felt I had, and so I thought digital marketing would be perfect course for me.
Okay, and for Emma and again Philip, what skills have you learned to date in your degree?
Oh, the list of skills is just too many to even describe in this amount of time. So I've learned so many skills that have really set me apart. Like, I'm on the job hunt at the moment because I'm in my final few weeks of my final year. So it's been really impressive that the employers have seen that I've finished up my Google Analytics qualification, which I did with Anya here. And I've also done my Microsoft Office, which I'm very proficient in now after doing this degree. I've also done my Spanish as well, which competitors know that employers love to see as well, because they love to see your that you can continue your linguistic skills in an international market. Also Canvas skills with Alan Kelly, And the list is endless, especially communication as well. That was a massive one. The lecturers really do take an interest in you and really want you to improve your communication skills and be able to speak out loud, because I would have been quite a shy and timid person before starting this degree, but with the help of the lecturers, they really do encourage you to speak up and encourage you to debate on the hot and controversial topics that are involved in the course.
For myself, I suppose first and foremost, I think it's just the skill of just thinking like a marketer. Everywhere I look now, I just see things differently. Things that I would have just thought that that's how it is, and realize, oh no, that's marketing. Someone thought about how they want people to think about this thing, and just even just in shops, online, everything was just kind of think differently. And like everyone has said, communication, my communication skills have improved immensely from just the presentations, just public speaking now, where I would have never have thought in a million years I would have been good at that. But I've those skills have went up so much in the last few years. And then like Emma was saying as well about with kind of creative softwares, like I've that's really my side of things, kind of content creation, and I've gotten quite good at Photoshop and Illustrator and video editing softwares, and there's so many skills that you learn in these courses.
Great. What do you enjoy most about studying marketing at IT Sligo?
I think a really important thing is that the class sizes are relatively small in comparison to other universities and other ITs. So by the end of week one, everyone knows everyone, and you're going for coffee together, and you're going for lunch together. So that's really great. And of course, that the lecturers actually do take a personal interest in you, and that they would provide that personal support as well, which is really important, as for most of you, it'll probably be your first time away from home, being away from mum and dad. So it's a big change. It's also really important that they taught us a lot of sales tactics as well, which is really beneficial for job interviews because you're trying to sell yourself. So I think that's really amazing. Yeah.
Similarly for me, being able to get to know your lecturer and for them to get to know you, it makes a huge difference. Because I think it'd be easy to feel quite lost if you just felt like you had no way of really kind of talking to your lecturer, and you could easily just slip further and further. But and again, just about the communication, like with being in those smaller groups and kind of having to do presentations, well, at first they're very daunting. They just do so much for your confidence, and they just give you the ability to communicate and to get across your ideas. And I think that's definitely something I've enjoyed in the IT.
Great. Emma, would you like to tell us a little bit more about studying Spanish at IT Sligo and your Erasmus here in Spain?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So it was an absolutely amazing experience for my last academic year in third year that I got to go to University of Alicante to study over there for the year. So it was an amazing opportunity to gain an international status on my degree, which is, it sets you really apart from your from different people that might be looking at the same kind of jobs as you. So the IT international officers, Suzanne there and John, prepared myself and about 4 other people to embark on this once in a lifetime opportunity to live abroad in sunny Spain. So it was amazing. And also the German students and the French students also did get that opportunity as well to study abroad. So I've been learning Spanish with a native Spaniard lecturer, Juan Manuel. And he prepared us very, very well. And he made sure all our linguistic skills are up to scratch and that we wouldn't be nervous at all going in. I made so many friends, not only from Ireland, but all over the world, like New Zealand, Germany, Miami, and of course Spain as well, actually, who I still chat to regularly. And we're still planning a little reunion whenever everything's over. I've really improved my language skills because you were immersed in the culture. So that was really important because you had to speak Spanish to get around and do things. And through learning Spanish in the IT, it really, really did help to build up your confidence and be able to feel like you were actually able to speak. So once again, this program was just amazing and the benefits were just reaped massively. And of course, it really has helped boost my employability, as you do stand out on your CV, because I get asked so many times in my interviews about the experience that I had and how it's aided my personal and professional development, as it shows that you can work alongside different multinational backgrounds, and you can work with people of different cultures and you respect that. And it's a lot of cross cultural sensitivity as well. So all big employers want to see that, especially if you would be interested in working in a multinational company. So honestly, it's amazing. I'd highly recommend it to anyone. If you ever get the opportunity to do Erasmus, you definitely should. It's really, really great. So yeah, really, really good. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Muy bien. Philip, I would just ask you just one question about your work placement. You're currently doing work placement as part of your program in year 3. Would you like to tell us a little bit about it and what skills you've learned on your work placement and how it has enhanced your knowledge of the business environment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing it's definitely done for me is got me thinking more about time management, which I'm still trying to improve. I think combining that with, kind of having to be autonomous with my tasks and, kind of having a plan of what to do for the day. It's definitely something to think about, and it's definitely something that I'm glad I have to do, because it's, I think, going into the future, just having that under my belt will definitely stand to me. I think, some of the things that you don't expect, like, while say case studies and such are so good, but there's some very specific things that come up in a real work placement that you can't really plan for. You just have to adjust on the fly, and then even just kind of learning then about different laws and things surrounding marketing that I wouldn't have known before. Like at the moment, I'm doing my placement with the credit union, and they're launching the debit card, and the brand guidelines surrounding it, and then legal guidelines and everything. There's so much to it, and just getting my head around that is definitely eye opening. And I think too, it's given me, I have to think now just more. There's more perspectives to think of when coming up with marketing material or marketing campaigns than you would have previously thought. I think before doing some projects, I would think of just my own perspective from my age. It's when you have to look at it in a business sense. There's a lot more broader views to think of, and I think too, even just not being afraid to give my suggestions or my 2 cents in a business setting is it's a big one, because when money's involved, it gets serious then, and so I think placement is definitely a great experience.
Great. It's great to hear about your wonderful experience on placement, and as well with Emma with your Erasmus year in Spain, the envy of being able to go on Erasmus, which is great as well. So I would like to thank the panelists for giving us an insight into their careers in marketing. So thank you to Emma Gilroy, Gavin Hanley and Paul Conneally, and giving us an insight into your organizations and what you look for in graduates and what graduates need to future-proof themselves for future employment. And also I would like to thank Philip and Emma for giving us an insight into the student perspective at studying at ATU Sligo. So we're now going to move over to the questions out to a Q&A session, so questions and answers. So Lisa Dunn is going to moderate this part of the session now with Anya Doherty and Catherine McGuinn.
Thanks, Suzanne. Yes, we've had some really good questions actually coming in, which is great to see. Great to see the interest. First one, actually, I might direct to Anya, maybe following up, having Philip mentioning about his work placement. Just somebody was asking, how long is the work placement in the new programs, and when do they take place?
Hi, everyone. So I am one of the work placement coordinators on the programme, and we've recently made a shift in the way that we deliver work placement. It was 2 days a week throughout the second semester of third year, but we've actually changed it now so that it's an 8-week work placement. So you're getting even more experience during third year of this programme. So you'll be working with employers both locally or nationally, you know, wherever you choose or however far you want to go from Sligo or home for those 8 weeks you can, and you'll be working 5 days a week. You'll have, you know, support from myself and the other work placement supervisors during that placement as well, which I think the students do find good if they come across maybe a particular issue that they can reach out to us for a little bit of support. Yeah, so it's a really good experience. Lisa, I hope that answers all of the questions related to the timing. So the students go out after Easter for 8 weeks, and some of them may choose to stay on placement throughout the summer if their employer is willing to offer them some more work.
Yeah, thank you, Anya. Another question was in relation to the points and what might the points be like for these new programs. So I might direct that to John, please.
Hi all. Yeah, great hearing those stories so far. Yeah, on the points, this is a new program, so the points have yet to be established. They'll be determined by the intake that comes along. But generally speaking, if you're looking at a level 7 program here, the points are probably going to fall between 170 to 120, somewhere around that. And for the level 8 program, you're talking north of 200, 230, 240, that kind of area. But again, as with any of this, and I think particularly Emma and Philip really spoke to this, never determine your future career on the back of your bank of points is probably the worst way to go. And as a parent of 3 kids who've kind of gone through this, you don't want to be investing on the back of, you know, how number of points you have in your back pocket. So do think about what you want to get out of your career. Do think about your particular strengths. And the one thing that resonated there, particularly from Emma and Philip, was, you know, this is a kind of program that relates to people who want to work with other people. Yes, you use technology. Yes, you might even use a language. You'll use other skill sets. But fundamentally, you are trying to build a relationship with other people so that they trust in whatever it is that you're selling or whatever message you're trying to bring. If you think that resonates with you, then throw all your points in that direction. But don't squander your own resources just because the points match up with some other program here or there. So that's the advice I would give generally. Yeah, Lisa.
Okay, thank you, John. Another question that came in was, what jobs can I expect to be qualified for upon completion of this degree? I suppose Suzanne covered that in her presentation, but I think when we heard from both Gavin and Paul and from Emma, there's such a variety of routes that you can take with a marketing degree, which is fantastic. And even as Paul was mentioning, you know, in the Northwest, there's lots of businesses that are looking for marketing graduates. And then of course, there's opportunities internationally as well. So I think that will be our message, that there's so many routes that you can take with a marketing degree and lots of different jobs that you will be qualified for, which is exciting. Another question that came in was, what are the options regarding further study following completion of the degrees? So I might ask Catherine to answer that, please.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, you have a lot of options here. So for example, in IT Sligo, if you get a 2.2 grade or above, you potentially can complete a master's. And when you're completing a master's, there's 2 major pathways. One is to do a taught master's full-time over 1 academic year. We have one here in IT Sligo, it's the Master of Science in Marketing. You also have the option of completing that taught master's over 2 years. So that just gives you a bit of flexibility. The second option, if you want to complete a master's, you can do a master's by research. And that's effectively that you're working on 1 research project with a supervisor. That takes about 22 months full-time, and you can also do a part-time, which will be approximately twice that length of time. It's important as well just to say that this program is designed to make sure that it's compliant with Teaching Council requirements. So if anybody is interested maybe about exploring secondary school teaching, that's also an option for you. Okay, thanks.
Cheers, thank you, Catherine. Another question was related to maths, and is there much maths involved in marketing? I suppose there's not a large amount of maths involved in the marketing courses. There is one maths module that you take in the first year. And I suppose the skills though that you learn during that module will really set you up for other business subjects that you will be covering in the following years, like in accounting and business technology. So I think even Emma and Paul and Gavin, all three of our guest speakers, mentioned, how marketing has become much more analytical and that the importance of having those skills. So I think it is important that, that those skills are gained during the program. But don't worry, if you're worried about maths and maths being something that you're not so strong on, there's great support in the IT. We have a math support centre at the college that offers free one-to-one tuition, and students can make appointments and go along to the centre. So there is lots of supports there in relation to maths. But I think from hearing from the different speakers, it's clear that analytics and metrics and analysis are, kind of core skills to have today in any role in the marketing field. So there was another question here. Somebody had come in and asked about Erasmus and whether you can go for more than 1 year, or what is the norm amount of time that somebody would spend on Erasmus. So maybe Suzanne, would you mind answering that?
Yes, of course. Normally students spend up to a year on Erasmus. So there is the opportunity, as Emma has spoken about, taking a year abroad in France, Germany or Spain. But there is also the option to take 1 semester. So that can be taken in the first semester of third year, or the second semester of third year, or the full year abroad. Normally students go for 1 year. There is a possibility of going for an additional year in year 4. We haven't actually had a student that would take that normally, but there is the option to take it if you want to really take another year. There is the opportunity to do that, and I think Emma would love to do that too, to take another year. But it is possible.
Okay, thanks, Suzanne, and thanks for everybody for fielding those questions. And there's no other questions that have come in on the Q&A at present.
Okay, so thank you for the Q&A. I'm just going to share my screen again. And let's see. It's not sharing, sorry about this. But just to thank you for attending the webinar. For further information, you can, on the slide I previously shown, for IT Sligo SG150 for the level 8, you can find more information, or for SG139 for the level 7 marketing degree, or you can contact me at ryan.suzanne@IT Sligo. Thank you.